vision. And I love that. On that, we built an innovation vision, and I specifically like the middle there. This solution will be the most empathic symbiosis between machine intelligence and human ingenuity. These two things sort of go to the two sides of this spectrum with 4 dimensions. And I will run you very quickly through them. Self-running company, self-organizing business ecosystem, so we can follow our purpose. The first one is about the self-running company. I got this picture from Alexander Mankowski, the futurist from Daimler. You know Daimler, right? And we talked about it. He said, Martin, the car, uninteresting. It will drive itself, it will be fantastic, it will be just automated. Look at the people. What do? They discuss, they digest information. They have complex discussions that they could not have had with an Excel spreadsheet. And this is maybe the new way we measure productivity that has always been built on this high-level task, low-level task, and machine tasks. From manual work to something we call, the digital enterprise, as many of you are looking at to be or maybe are. And there is a future when we think the next development will be the intelligent enterprise, and in the end, the self-running. And if you look at the blue scale there, exploration interactions, and in the beginning we had manual work and routine problems, so it's almost like Maslow's pyramid of needs, right? You have the house, you're not hungry anymore, you have love in your life, great. Read poems, invent new ideas, make things happen that you just imagined, and talk to people. So basically you're moving from this manual cognitive work to passions and purposes that we want to pursue, that hopefully are measurable as well, right? And if you want to see how that works today, we made just a small app with a known technology, which is machine vision. We can see logotypes much quicker than a human can do. Before, actually, people counted logotypes in sports to see the brand impact. How much did you pay? Volvo, Audi, Volvo, Audi. Now machines do that. Actually, that's not human work anymore. And it changes the whole business model for the industry. Now, they pay for what they get. Actually, they can advertise now as the logo appears and pay for it as it appears and can move it around. Okay, that's the first dimension, self-running. Second, self-organizing business ecosystems built on a philosophy where the current power is a little bit like money, like currency. It's the more you hoard, the more powerful you are. It could be potatoes or oil, it doesn't matter. And we think we're moving to something that is more like a current. The more relevant you make yourself in the distribution of that power, the more powerful you will be together. And a concept that builds on a given technology there, I would say, which is blockchain, could look like this.
Launch an international disaster relief mission just after an island has been struck by an earthquake. The United States, France, and the Red Cross set up camps all over the island. Each of them brings specific resources and know-how. The Red Cross helps with drinking water. France brings medical support, and the United States provides helicopters. The blockchain acts as a single source of truth and provides transparency over asset needs. Let's assume the French camp has several doctors that need to fly to the other side of the island. They enter a request in the app, which is then broadcasted to all mission participants via blockchain. All of the participants can instantly see the request and react with the specific offer. Here, the United States can provide 3 helicopters to be on site in 30 minutes. All parties have agreed on a smart contract, a simple, open algorithm embedded in the blockchain, ensuring that everyone sticks to the commonly agreed upon rule.
I won't explain blockchain to you right now because I'm almost out of time. But there's a way to organize many systems. And imagine Red Cross, they are not there to administrate and pay 20% of the budget for that. They are there to save lives, right? Next dimension, which is really interesting, is the augmented me, augmented you, the superhuman that we all carry inside of us. We cannot just release it because we don't have time for that. And I brought a little friend that is a little bit like Sophia with me. Call him Copilot. Hey, Copilot, what's up this morning?
Good morning, Martin. You will have a fairly busy morning,
okay,
but there is time for a good cup of coffee. Your biometrics show me that it would be good for you. With just 1 cup,
Just
remember.
one. I remember. So he knows me. He knows I'm useless in the mornings because he's seen how I'm working. He sees the KPIs coming out of me. And he also knows I'm drinking too much coffee because of all the biometrics. Hey, Copilot, we've been thinking about how our teams work effectively and also how they travel. And are there any causalities or correlation coming out of that?
When colleagues travel so they can spend time face-to-face, your delivery quality goes up 5%. That saves software maintenance costs with customers by 2.5%.
Oh, wow.
I found the routes that would make sense economically and that allow the colleagues to spend the most time face-to-face. We will review them tomorrow.
Oh, so you're the boss now. We will review them tomorrow. That's okay. Okay, thank you. Is everything ready for my business trip tomorrow?
Yes. Oh, here is a surprise.
Okay.
If you switch from window to an aisle seat on tomorrow's flight, you will most likely be more successful in your budget negotiation.
No kidding.
According to your travel and performance data. Want to change?
Yeah, of course I want to change if I get more budget. But you know, really? Is that true?
Yes, really. Martin, I am not just a pretty face.
You don't have a face, but that's okay too. See, we removing the constraints of human bias and human knowledge. We can be beyond that and be what I call superhuman, or human at last, if you wish. Because that answers this question. What is the smartest app? Well, that's the one that makes you smarter. Okay, last dimension to catch up with the time here, which is about purpose. What are your dreams? Why do you exist? What do you would like to focus on far ahead? And I just give you one example. Patagonia is doing this really well. So Patagonia makes jackets, right, and stuff. So why are they suing President Trump for stealing land from nature reserves? Why do they say that repairing the jacket is not the customer service? It's a radical act. Well, because they think like this. The planet is beautiful. We want to save it. We make you a jacket, you climb a mountain, and you see, shit, this is beautiful. And they go, we told you so. They are in the business of saving the planet, they just happen to make jackets. We are in the business of making business software. No, improving people's world, but just happen to make business software. And this gives us the last question that I would like to leave you with. Why are you relevant 10 years from now? It doesn't have to be to save the planet. You have dreams and focus and markets you would like to create. Something that excites you to the moon. What is that? Articulate that very, very well. Why are you relevant 10 years from now? Because if you don't, you might not be. And this gives us the 4 dimensions of what we call the intelligent enterprise, or at least the future of work. And looking how work looked before. This gentleman was traveling on a business trip, so he had to fill this in 1969 as a travel expense, right? So he did that, and he said, I was using a company vehicle here. It was a government spacecraft, and he went to the moon. This is Buzz Aldrin's travel expense, and he had to fill this in to get his $33 back. Question is, did he then have the imagination and the combination of technologies before him to understand that he will be able to use something called Twitter to tweet about it decades later? Maybe not. Future is emergent, but try to imagine it and try to make something out of it and act on it. I love this. I promise this is the last slide. So ending with violins. So who's guessing? Puccini? Verdi? Of course, it's AI. The AI is called IVA, and the piece is called Genesis. I think it's very suitable, because we always, in the beginning, from now on, everything is an open end. And it's up to us to actually sit down and use these methods. Look across all the 3 horizons. Articulate futures that are desirable, where we can play a significant, positive role. That's your purpose. And if we do that, I actually think we can design futures we all want to live in. And we should remember to have some fun as well. Thank you very much.
The one who who made world headline news in 2014 by streaming a live operation using Google Class to 14,000 students and trainees across 132 countries. The one who performed the world's first virtual reality operation